Viva Tequila Seltzer, the #1 hard seltzer in the world and the official hard seltzer of Day Drinking with Dog. Ditch the malt, add tequila.
Welcome back, Day Drinking with Dog. It is another rainy day here up in New England. It is March 6, 2024. It is officially 13 days away from my motherfucking half-century birthday, and I don't know quite how I feel about that, so I felt like I wanted to rant today, and who better to rant about current events, politics, conspiracy theories than my good friend Samantha Lee. How you doing?
Hanging in, man. Good to be back.
It's great to have you back. I know we've done this a couple times before, and sometimes they start kind of mild, and then we just kind of go off on tangents and stuff.
Yep.
It's probably how it's going to go today.
Yep,
I'm
that's how we
assuming
roll.
so.
This is how we roll.
But before we start, we want to give a little shout out, a happy birthday to Mr. Ray Cruciani, Ray with the Sauce.
Ray with the Sauce.
Turned
Happy birthday.
60 today.
Big 6-0.
The big 6-0. It's crazy. Happy birthday, brother. And I was fortunate enough to have him on the show a couple weeks ago, and fortunate enough this weekend to hang out with him on Saturday night down in Bridgeport at the Total Mortgage Arena. We went to the second night of the PBR Velocity League, so it's kind of like a minor leagues of bull riding, and it was fantastic.
Did you get on a bull?
No, they don't. It's not Orange Ale House, you know. It's it's an actual sanctioned event, but what they do is it's pretty cool. I thought it was like a bull rider goes and you kind of hang around. I mean, they are just shooting. There's like 6 pens and they're just going right down the line. And when that dude gets kicked off in 1.5 seconds,
oh my God,
and they clear the bull, the guy's going next. And it was fast paced. There was a lot of fire and pyrotechnics and rock music. And what was really cool, so we were kind of on the floor, like call it the end zone on the other side where the bulls come out. And we had open bar with Pendleton whiskey and a lot of us from Citrus, and we were all there, and it was just an amazing time. And it was about the 5th or 6th bull, and he knocked the rider off right away. And he's literally, like I said, we're in the other end zone. It's like watching a football game from the other end zone.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we just see this bull fucking charging at us. You don't think of it as much, but he gets about halfway. He's at the 50-yard line, let's say, and he's fucking coming.
What's like separating it? Like a fence?
Oh, we have like a fence, like a metal.
Just like a fence.
Just like it's durable. I mean, he's not going to bust it through.
Maybe.
But it's on a stage.
Yeah.
So he comes running and he turns. He's not like going to jump into us. And he just gives this like, and I'm sure the bull's laughing. He just gives the whole fucking thing a hip check. And all these fucking beers and drinks go flying and shit. The ladies were mopping up after.
Oh my God.
And none of us got it on video. Like, we videoed pretty much the whole thing. But that particular time.
Except for that.
I mean, it's on video somewhere. I don't know. But not like with our cell phones or anything. So, but the coolest thing was all these riders were getting, like, you could tell they're minor leagues. And this is no offense to them, but like 8 seconds is the goal. And none of them got to like 4 or 5 seconds.
Jesus.
And then there was a girl in our section whose husband was a rider. And I don't know, her or him. And he's up. And now everyone in our section's like, yo, this is the guy, number 15. This is the guy we're watching. And we're like, okay, cool. I think her name was Taylor. And he gets on, he goes like 8.8 seconds in the whole fucking place. The whole where we went fucking. I never met the guy in my life, but I felt like so proud of him just because his wife was in the section. So
that's so
he didn't end up winning, but I think he finished the top 4, top 5 out of all these guys, and I can't wait to go back next year. I want to see like a real one now, like at Madison Square Garden or one of the bigger, up in Boston where the actual real league goes, because I guess some of these guys, they'll be on this bull for 12, 13 seconds, just like, this is nothing.
Shit.
Yeah. So, anyway, happy birthday, Ray. Thanks for the great weekend. I hope you have a great weekend coming up this weekend.
We love you, Ray.
We love you, Ray. Ray with the Sauce. Check out his Instagram page, by the way. He
Ray
just posted.
with the Sauce.
Well, I believe his daughter posted. She was telling me they took his phone away for Instagram.
Yeah.
Like he was no longer allowed to do it anymore.
She takes the better videos,
She takes the better videos,
for
too.
sure.
Yeah. So check out his Instagram page. So, all right. So what's grinding your gears today?
God, so much grinds my gears.
I did say when you walked in, I said, you're one of the most prepared guests I have on here.
You gotta have notes.
She's got
You gotta
pages
be
of
ready.
notes. I got my notes. Usually people just think they can Then they like rely on their phone.
No, my brain
Just
goes
let
a
down.
mile a minute. You know, I don't have time for that. So yeah, this week I was listening to one of my favorite podcasters. I was listening to Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire.
Matt Walsh,
All
Daily
right.
Wire.
Awesome dude, sweet baby.
He's a very monotone.
Yes,
got
sweet
that
baby
monotone.
gang. He's very monotone, but he's funny.
And
like very dry.
He's always against the trans women in sports.
Very yes. So he very much gets into the trans, community.
Did a whole movie on it.
He did. If you haven't seen What Is a Woman, you gotta watch it. It's gonna piss you off, but you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So yeah, he brought up this this subject of men lactating, biological men who become women.
Are they on some kind of female hormone now?
No, so it's actually a drug, an anti-nausea drug, which is wild, and it's called domperidone.
Okay, so is this something that was just a crazy side effect they didn't know about, or now it's something they prescribe? Because
So it's something that was used in other countries, and it's used for people with like severe GI issues.
I have that.
Yeah. So
If they prescribe me that, I'm
you might
basically
have
give me
something
your
coming out of
baby,
your
baby.
yeah, something coming out. So yeah, it's not FDA approved. It's not something you can get in the U.S. without some serious backlash. And basically, they're reporting that these men, biological men, who are saying they're women now, so trans women, I think is what it is. If you're a trans woman, you're man to girl.
Yeah, trans woman.
Trans woman.
Yeah, you want to become a woman, so you're a trans woman.
Okay, right.
And if you're a woman that wants to chop off your breast, you become a trans man.
Trans man, right. I mean, I don't care anyway, but that's what it is. So they're taking this drug, and it's basically causing secretions to come out of their nipples, and they're feeding it to babies.
Wait. So, I get the secretion part, but is it like nutritious for a baby? Is it just chemicals? Is it a byproduct of a bad drug?
There's absolutely no research. So
there's
the only
feeding babies.
Right. So the only research is you'll get from like these far left media saying like, oh, something came out, so it's safe, and they're feeding it to babies. But there's actually no scientific data whatsoever that there's any nutritional value, and we don't even know what it is. That's coming.
I've heard that term before. No scientific data. Like within the last 4 years, I can't remember what it was for though.
Well, a lot of people too. What I love too is like.
Do you remember that term?
Yes.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Well, because now what everybody does is, oh, there's data.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what data? Well, there's data.
Well, there's data.
Well, there's somebody wrote something somewhere, and it's like, okay, that's great, but that's, it's not true. So yeah, so there's this drug. It has serious side effects. One of the biggest being causing cardiac arrhythmias. So your heart either beat, too fast, too slow.
Sounds like the other one.
Yeah, and can cause cardiac arrest.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so, and obviously, women, biological women know, if you're breastfeeding, you can't take certain things or do certain things because it directly goes to baby.
Into the baby, right.
You can't even get some vaccines because you can actually kill the baby.
Right.
So yeah, so there's people in the U.S., these trans women who are feeding this to children.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and specifically in kids.
And you know what the fucked up thing is?
Yeah.
The only reason why they're doing it is because they can, and
Right.
it makes them feel that they are a woman now.
Right.
They could care less about what's going into the child.
Right.
Just like all this other shit.
Right.
They don't care.
No.
This is a selfish thing to me.
No.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's absolutely creepy. And the creepiest part is I'm going to share something, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
So, a big thing that I think most people are against is pedophilia, right? So,
You'd be surprised, but yes, 100% of people should be against
so,
it.
if you perhaps were to admit having a sexual fantasy about a child or having a sexual encounter with a child, you'd probably be
I know where you're going with this because I read it.
arrested,
Yes.
right? So fair warning to anybody listening to this because it's pretty disgusting. Yeah. So this was from Queer Issue in 2017. We are in 2024. This man has never been looked up. This man was never prosecuted for what he wrote.
Right.
Okay? This is from the point of view of a trans woman. So biological man who went through to become a woman and took this domperidone drug to secrete some kind of liquid from his nipples. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. And he wrote in the article, quote, breastfeeding is freaky, not the sucking bit. You're reading The Stranger, so odds are you've had a titty sucked at some point in your life. No, it's because when my baby attached to my breast, there was an incredible chemical cascade that ran through my entire body like lightning. Imagine the most electric thing a partner has ever done to you, then multiply it by 10. I could feel my brain rewiring, creating pathways that would permanently connect me to my child. And yes, I kind of got off on it. Don't judge. These are the type of people that are doing this.
Yeah, there are.
This is sick.
It's mental health.
This is sick.
You know what? That was something different than what I thought.
Okay.
I had just read something about normalizing. Someone was normalizing pedophilia, but not normalizing in like you were actually touching a boy or a girl or any of that shit.
Right.
Saying it's okay to have those thoughts run through your head, as long as you don't act on them.
Right, like I've heard like no victim, no crime.
Right.
So like the people
Like,
who have
wait,
like child porn in
How
their
do you think
computers.
this shit starts?
Right.
If you have those thoughts, go seek help. If you don't, this is how people become mass murderers, and they shoot up places, and
Right.
and they grab kids and they kidnap them and they do all sorts of terrible things to them. It all starts up top.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
It's not
documentaries
something
that go.
like there's not some dude down the alleyway with,
Yeah.
with a suitcase of cash saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I got this for you." If you, I mean, it's not how this shit starts.
Right, and there's a lot of documentaries that go into it of people saying like, this is never going to change. Like, I'm
Right.
not going to change. You know, if you have a sexual preference for a child, you're not going to be rehabilitated.
You are. I wouldn't want to say you can't be rehabilitated. I think if you catch it maybe right away, like I don't think they understand right from wrong. Is my fear.
Yeah, that's my thing. But I mean, like, if you're growing up with this sick fantasy, and now you're like, I don't know, a 40-something-year-old man, and you're getting caught with all this stuff in your computer, I don't see that.
It daily.
Yeah,
You
I
do.
just don't
Like
see that.
articles of child porn. I happen to know some people that have been caught.
Yep. Yep, me as well.
I don't call them my friends or anything, but I just know. I know a lot of people. You know a lot of people.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
You look in the medical field, and I work in the bar field. So
Yep.
people talk, and it's just how do you stop it? Like, how do you stop someone that's had those? Now, let's be like a little bit tiny sympathetic, okay?
Sure.
How do we stop a 40-year-old person
Yeah.
that has these, never acted out on it, but has had 15 to 20 years of being attracted to a 7-year-old girl? Okay, you can't see it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I see a lot of people like, dude, that dude's just fucked up in general. They're like, what the fuck was on his head?
Yeah.
But, like, you know, those people are just normal, walk of the earth, your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not smart on their computers, and they save shit, and they get busted, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. A guy, he was over my house last year for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Eyeing up the fucking my daughter or my son. Like, that's what's going to go through your head now. Like, how did I let that happen? So what do we do? What is the? I don't think there's a solution necessarily.
Yeah.
But where do we try and stop it? Like, do you take like a 10-year-old child or no? I don't know. Do you evaluate an 18-year-old person? You know, almost like a Rorschach test or something.
Right.
And just, you know, and show him a picture of a 7-year-old girl and what do you think, and see what he says. Like, do you do that for everybody?
Yeah, I mean that's a part of it. It's that, or the other thing is, I mean, these are people that need to be removed from society. They need to be removed. Right.
Like government tests do this.
Right.
Like I took a test out of college for ATF.
Yeah.
Just like one of those, you know, 500 people show up downtown New Haven.
Yeah.
And some of the questions in these tests, I could tell where they were going. Like, they were weird. Just like, you know, do you want to be a race car driver? Do you like farm animals? You know, just like all like random, like, wait, where do they really get? You know, you're almost processing in your head, like, where are they getting at with this question?
Yeah.
And then you fucking second guess yourself, did I answer it the right way?
Yeah.
And if I answered it a certain way, I'm like either never going to get the job or I'm going to be like pulled out of here.
Right. Like psychoanalyze it.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think these people just need to be removed from society. And I think
where do we put them? Just in an island?
I don't know.
Well, I think there's a free island out there that we might be able to.
I think there's somewhere we can send them. Mm-hmm. Just let them all live out their lives out there. Just
all their fantasies.
Keep the fuck away from our kids. So that's my thought there.
Wow. I didn't think we were going to get that aggressive that early.
Listen.
Hey. So I love having you on.
See?
I don't even know where to look at my notes and go to. Oh, let's just get Trump out of the way. So Trump crushes last night.
Obviously.
Of
Not
course,
surprised.
Vermont votes for Haley. Whatever. Vermont's probably all Democrats anyway, eating Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Oh my God, yeah.
But she finally stepped out today.
Yep.
To many of the Democrats' chagrin. They were just praying she stayed on as long as she could. And now they're all flip-flopping, saying, now they're all going for her vote. Like, they don't care.
Right.
They don't care. Let's get the Haley vote, and let's finish this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is happening. This is Trump versus, this is 4 years ago, all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of thoughts about the next 8 months on what could happen. Could we see another, not necessarily a pandemic event, but I've read a lot about black swan events where,
Sure.
something very bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so bad that we won't even be able to vote, and they'll just say, let's just go status quo and keep Biden in there for 4 more years. We won't even have an election. I mean, that's the extreme side of it, but
yeah.
Would it, at this
I mean, it's not,
time and year,
it's not that out of
No.
pocket. It's not that far-fetched, to be honest with you, with the way that things are going. It's just, it's absolutely disgusting. And I think that personally, I had this conversation with a friend who admittedly voted for Biden 4 years ago.
I mean, first time you got to admit your mistake before you can move on.
I appreciate the admittal of the mistake, but I looked at him differently after that. I looked at him differently, and I said, man, it's like the people, anybody but Trump.
Now, if you use that this time, you literally have no clue what's going on in this world.
No. You're either a trust fund baby or something, because how the fuck you're surviving, I have no idea.
And now they're using all the tactics of, like, all this migration and all the Mexico border stuff.
Disgusting.
They're all saying, well, that was Trump. That was Trump. Well, I mean, common sense, we know it's not.
Yeah.
But literally, Biden, when he took office, did, like, the most executive orders, canceling out executive orders of Trump.
Yeah.
In the history of the
What about that what's that poor girl who just got murdered by the illegal immigrant?
In Virginia?
Yeah, and they had a guy on, CNN or one of the libtard networks, and they asked him, he was, part of the FBI and this and that, and they said, this guy was robbing convenience stores, grand theft auto, public endangerment. He had all these charges against him as an illegal immigrant, and they didn't remove him.
Right.
And then he murdered an innocent girl.
So MSNBC, who I feel has become the by far and away most liberal network there is. It's like it's like past CNN now.
Really?
CNN just can't get out of their own way. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They fire
don't know what's happening. Yeah.
But Rachel Maddow's still on there, and they have Biden's ex, the redhead broad. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the old Speaker of the House.
Yeah, the old Speaker.
Oh
not
God.
Speaker. The
Jen something.
Yes. Paskey. Pasaki.
So
she's like on MSNBC now.
Oh, really?
So I saw this clip where they were talking about like leaving the polls and some stuff, and they interviewed whoever, and they were like, if they were interviewing Virginians if they were concerned about the border.
Right.
And like 90% said yes. And Pasaki said, what, West Virginia? At like the border of West Virginia? And they all started laughing. Meanwhile, the immigrant just murdered and raped somebody, a woman
real border,
in Virginia.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't take them long to hop on a bus and travel here.
Yeah.
We're busing them, for Christ's sakes.
Yes.
Like, we're putting them on that bus.
Yeah, did you see the Boston Logan Airport of all them sleeping on the floors? And they had food, laid out. They had, a little apartment set up in the corner.
I'm glad you said Boston. I was just there on Sunday. I took my girlfriend's son, my friend Angelo, and his son, two 14-year-olds with us. And we went to the Celtics game. It was a nice early game, 3:30. They won by 52, had a good time. So we're in this Uber, and it's just this old school Boston dude.
Great.
And it was like, how you get an Uber driver, and you start talking, not sure if they even want to talk back to you.
Yeah.
This guy was ready to talk.
Love it.
And I said, you know what, you're such a, can't remember how it came up, but you're such a fucking Dem-run state. And I'm from Mass, and I love all Boston teams. And I'm like, but you know what's even worse? And he turns around and goes, the mayor. I go, yes, the mayor is the fucking worst fucking liberal in this whole state. No, you had two 14-year-olds in the car those damn libs.
Those fucking liberals.
And I still love the city of Boston, but like she is just ruining it. And,
Yeah.
And they're busting them in up there, and like you said, Logan Airport, and I mean, they were doing something local too, weren't they?
Yeah, there was a really fucked up interview like about this woman, a real liberal woman living in the city, and she took in an immigrant family. She's like, it's just so lovely. They clean for us and they cook all our meals and they take care of the house. I'm like, this sounds terrible. You sound horrible right now. You don't sound like a great person. You sound like an idiot. Like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take you in, but make sure you vacuum my floors, clean my car.
Yeah,
it's
a
like
little Boston there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's price of admission, right?
I guess. Murder.
Yeah.
Perhaps, depending on who you're taking on.
I love how liberal white people that are interviewed about certain things always have that, like the how you did it just there, have that spin to them.
Yeah.
Like, well, oh yeah, no, it's great. They
it's
clean my
so
bathroom.
great.
It reminded me of the Kansas City parade shooting. And, when it happened, it was just two gangbangers going back and forth and innocent bystanders. And Jesus Christ, read the newspaper, see what goes on in Chicago. And Kansas City is no better. And I just happened to flip on ESPN and, they're rage and they're so angry. And when is shit going to change? And then the ditzy blonde that hosts the show goes, well, I just read, and this is such great news, but Kansas City has the number one gunshot wound hotel in the country. And I'm like, well, why do you think that is so? Chicago's got to be too.
Chicago's got to be too. I'm like,
but thank God. And then you got news that the lady died. Well, they're not that good at this. And rest in peace to her, of course. That was a stupid tragedy. I don't even know how you prevent that anywhere. It's such a mass crowd of people.
No, you can't.
But they were not legal guns, so
right.
I mean, that's a whole other show. That's 10 shows of.
Get rid of the guns.
Yeah,
okay, well, 99.99% of these people committing these fucking crimes, you think that they went and got their legal guns and whatever? It's like, come on, give me a fucking break.
It's such a deadbeat horse now.
It's so stupid.
It's never going to change.
Nope.
It's why we have the Constitution.
Yeah.
We could amend certain things. And listen, I don't even have a gun license. I've said this a million times. However, shit hits the fan, I know where to go. And I'll get there.
Yep.
Hell or high water, I'll get there. And,
and
I will be accepted to where I'm going.
I can't relate. I have my gun license.
Yeah, no.
Get your gun license.
I'm still, believe me.
Get it while you still can. Get it while it's good.
You know what it is? Honestly, I just think I'm lazy.
It's a pain in the ass.
I've done but it doesn't even have to be for me. I've done the course. Granted, it was a while ago. But I've talked to the people in Milford I need to talk to.
Right.
I've gotten the phone numbers I need. I just got to get an application and print out that old form, and he will bypass this within 2 weeks.
Get the fingerprints, go to the state barracks, all that shit.
And I'm just still sitting here like, and when I get it, I have one of the best hookups to get a beautiful fucking gun. Probably the first one free. Well, I got to pay for something, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
pay for the bullets.
Yeah, I got to pay for the bullets. But I'm like, and I'm still sitting here with but. I don't know. Like I said, I have places to go.
Get your license.
I know.
Get your license.
I gotta get there, I guess, right?
You gotta get there. Get the
I'm
license.
Gonna armor my fucking Kia up with fucking
There's all
little
these
machine guns on top.
Yeah,
they got all ram in the front like Zombie World.
Right, they got all these cool little knickknacks. You can fit the guns in the car. All this hidden shit. It's great. It's cool stuff.
All right, so. Can we do I'm just going to say this now because I kind of want to end this part of the conversation, but let's have you back on, say, a month before the election or 2 weeks before the election.
Absolutely.
And who knows what's going to happen before
Oh my God, so scary.
But let's do that. I thought one of the funniest things before yesterday was like the Colorado thing got shot down by the Supreme Court. Keith Olbermann went crazy, like, disband the Supreme Court. I'm like, I had a friend that sent me a text message like, this dude's still relevant? I go, no, he's not.
No.
I go, the problem is, he literally created a podcast. Keith Olbermann used to be the guy in SportsCenter, if you don't know who he is, with Dan Patrick. I've had Dan Patrick on the show. And as Dan was leaving, I was like, what's up with Keith? Just like joking around and kind of rolled his eyes, and he left, and that was it. And it's just one of those things, like, this dude has gone off the rockers. Like, him and Rob Reiner are just, like, two of the craziest liberal...
Yeah.
Like, if you sat with him, if he came in and he thought we were doing a podcast about puppies... And I said the word Trump, he would like flip the table over.
Oh yeah, one of those. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
So whatever. So he's all upset about the Colorado ruling, and it was the right ruling. I mean, I think a lot of liberals would say that you can't take people's names off ballots. That's not the country.
It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous that anyone thought in their right mind that you can just take an option away. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you could hate the guy all you want, just don't vote for him.
Right.
But how the fuck are you gonna say you just can't? No, you just can't.
Right. He would have had the largest write-in vote.
Oh my God! Yeah, I already Trump.
He probably would have.
Trump 24.
Yeah.
Trump 24.
It would have been
Trump
like
24.
Trump, like an FU,
Yeah,
like Trump with a middle
you.
finger. You know,
Yeah.
like that would have been
I
awesome.
remember that. I always tell this story. The first time I ever voted was for Donald Trump, and I walked in there with a Trump T-shirt on, and
they told you no.
They told me no.
Yeah.
And they were getting pretty bitchy about it, and they said either I take it off or I can't vote.
Yeah.
So I took it off right there in the middle of the room in front of everybody, flipped it inside out, and put it back on. I said, "All right, can I vote now?"
Well, that's what I did this
They
past
were
election.
fuming.
I was wearing a Tony G.
Yep.
And I walked into the voting thing, and they said, you have to turn that inside out. And I've never worn anything political to a voting thing. I didn't even know the rule. So I go, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'm not being an asshole. I'm like, "All right." He goes, "Just turn it inside out." I said, "No, hold on." And I take off my sweatshirt, and underneath is Trump squared, 2024. He goes, "Actually, that's okay because he's not running this year."
Yeah.
I said, "Awesome."
Yep. Perfect.
I'll be here next year wearing this, but with the Tony G over the top.
I wore it proud, like I was going to a concert. I was ready.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I got my concert T-shirt. I'm ready to go.
But what the craziest thing is, they're allowed
To stand
all
outside
these
the
people
fucking front door.
outside with like you run into a gazillion signs driving up.
Yeah.
Everyone trying to give you a fucking Girl Scout cookie to vote for them.
Yeah.
Everyone's outside. You get all the way to where you actually vote is concealed.
Yep.
But you can't wear that. It's like I always equated to where you have to wear a mask to the restaurant.
But take it off.
But when you sit down, you can take it off. You know, it's like the reverse psychology.
Yeah,
It's like so stupid.
Yeah, no, it's the best.
Like I'm gonna sway somebody walking from me telling my address to going to that spot. Like,
right.
Someone's gonna see my Trump shirt and go, oh. I didn't think about Trump. Is he on this ballot?
Is he on this ballot? Maybe I'll vote for Trump.
Yeah, they sit and watch fucking MSNBC all night.
Exactly.
Like we watch Fox.
That's true.
Fox
I don't even watch Fox anymore.
The only thing I watch really is just Gutfeld. I like Gutfeld.
Yeah, I watch Newsmax too. Newsmax is all right.
But is that the one or is that One News Nation? What's the one that Cuomo came back on?
Not Newsmax.
Okay, so he's on One News Nation.
Yeah.
But they're right wing.
Yeah,
so he just said, "Fuck it."
Oh, good
I'm
for
gonna
him.
change my tune and.
Oh, you know what?
Talk about it.
Smart move.
So Trump landslide because we thought this was happening 4 years ago, and the red wave did not happen. So what happens this year? But obviously we'll touch on this again in a few months.
I mean, honestly, I think you're gonna have a fucking full blown civil war if this shit turns the other way. Because I mean, there's something. I'm sorry. There's something mentally wrong in your fucking brain if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna vote for Biden. You're gonna go in there with confidence and say you're voting for this fucking guy. I don't care who you are.
I mean, people just sitting home watching their life savings disappear. And
there is no savings. There's no savings no more.
No, they're gone now.
Yeah.
And who could actually get it back on track? I'm not saying he's going to get it all back for you, but who do you think could get it back on track?
He could.
And we've talked plenty of times, and I'm not the biggest Trump guy in the world.
You don't have to.
And I'm also ready for some youth in this country.
Sure, yeah.
But that's not happening this year. So now we got to focus on what's in front of us.
Right.
Not try to get, I love Vivek. I think he's great.
Oh, Vivek. He was great. He's a cool guy.
Sorry, I didn't pronounce that.
I think it's Vivek. I think it's Vivek.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
See, come on, whatever. The V.
The
big V. He's going to be
V.
on the scene for a while.
No, he is. He's cool. He's a cool dude.
I would love for him to be VP. I just don't think he's there yet. I don't think I think he's a little more politicking.
He's a little more
Trump came in, he wasn't a politician, but like, Trump's a whole different thing.
He's excitable. He wanted to jump into the scene, but he needs a little more experience.
Yeah, and I think he would, if he ran as his vice president, Trump won, would he be the successor in 4 years? Would that be enough for him? Maybe it could.
I mean, it's a
possibility. Have Trump and him for 8 years, or at least 8 total.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's our only chance.
You're our only hope.
You're our only hope at survival here, buddy. You're all we got left. That's all we got.
Men in women's sports.
There we go.
My podcast started on this shit.
Yeah.
It really did. This was the whole Leah Thomas, the Penn swimmer. All that.
She's great.
And now Riley Gaines, the Kentucky.
Yeah, Riley Gaines is cool. She really came out on the scene now.
She is hardcore, like, defending. I mean, I admire her.
No, you have to, because that poor girl gets ripped.
I think she's at the point now where, like, she should just be on, like, Matt Walsh's, you know, like, she should be on the Daily Wire.
I know, she should go work
for them. Or go on Outkick Sports or something.
Yep.
Because, like, I follow her on Twitter.
Yep.
And it's, you know.
X.
No, I still call it Twitter. I don't think Musk minds that either.
No, he doesn't. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, still type in Twitter, it comes up. So.
True that.
Like, what if I say to you, hey, I just sent you an X? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's scary. It's a little scary. I get all my notifications. I haven't signed into Twitter in probably 10 years, to be quite honest with you. Not a Twitter gal. I get the notifications.
I don't ever post on it, really. I don't. Sometimes I'll comment on something.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's where I kind of get news from.
I think my cover photo is still the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, wow.
So, you know.
You were, what, 17 then?
God, no. I don't know. Young. Little.
So the top 3, there was a powerlifting competition in Canada.
Yep.
The top 3 finishers were all biological
men.
If that does not scream just ridiculousness, hypocrisy, like kind of when will this end? Let's stop getting mad at Dave Chappelle over this stuff.
Yeah. It's going to continue as long as we allow it. And that's the problem.
But are we, I mean, legally, yes, I guess we are. I mean, like Connecticut tried to fight it. Well,
yeah.
There was the girl runner from Connecticut, and she went all the way to the Supreme Court. And it's, you know, then they try to some states will regulate it with how much hormones you have in you, like it.
Which is sickening to me.
It's right. It's
sickening.
It's just one of those things. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was 18.
Maybe like 6-7 years ago.
Dude, when I was, I think 14, playing in a Pop Warner style football. There was a girl, we played another team, and there was a girl that played like a cornerback. Not quarterback, a cornerback, a defensive back on the other team.
Yep.
And we were like all afraid to hit her.
Yeah,
like, you know, like, what, you know, and the coaches from the other team addressed our team before the game and said, she understands the dangers of this game. She's very athletic, she's very good, and don't let her fool you. Because if you do, she's going to blindside the fuck out of you.
Right, yeah.
So you have to go in with that mindset.
Yeah.
But this is 14-year-olds, you know.
Right.
The minute you get into high school, it's just different. Women develop a little earlier than men do.
Sure.
Physiological facts.
Yeah. And,
you know, by the time these kids we were 17, 18, much more muscular and still growing until you're 20. You know, look at LeBron from age 17 to 20 with all those steroids he took.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And steroids was big back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still big now. It's just easier to hide. But
yeah.
I could do a whole LeBron episode too, but I'll save that for
I'm sure you can. I know nothing. So
I'm just saying.
It would be an educational episode for me for sure.
He has this, I'll leave it at this. He had the same, you ever heard of, maybe not, but you ever heard of Balco?
No.
So Balco was a San Francisco-based company, all steroids. That basically is linked to Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, and LeBron used the same trainer as Alex Rodriguez. And he's LeBron. So
he's LeBron. What are you going to do? Get mad at him?
He's the king, the self-anointed king.
Yeah.
They don't touch him. See, A-Rod's problem and Barry Bonds' problem was just the media didn't like him.
Right.
The media loves LeBron, so they stay off of him.
Yeah.
They hated Bonds because he was just mean to them.
Yeah.
So if you're mean to them, they take it personal.
Yeah, fuck him.
It's like Bill Belichick didn't get a head coaching job this year.
Oh, that poor guy. I kind of felt bad for him. I don't like the Patriots, but
he'll get one next year.
I still felt bad for him. It was still like, you know, I was still sad.
All right, so did you bring in? So I said, let's each do a conspiracy theory. Did you bring one today?
So, no.
What? I gave you homework. You come with a huge sheet of paper.
Because it wasn't. I told you it wasn't a conspiracy. It was just an illegal issue. You could call it conspiracy because they're saying it's totally safe. You got secretions coming out of men's nipples.
Oh, this is the nipple thing.
The nipples.
It's not a conspiracy. It's happening.
Well, it is happening
in real time.
You're going to tell me your conspiracies aren't happening?
Oh, they happening, girl.
They happening.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Well, I told you what I'm really going to talk about, but before I get into that one,
okay,
Have you seen a lot of it? See, this is why you need to get on Twitter, because there's a lot of probably Photoshop shit, but it's fascinating. Do you remember the video of the guy that was filming the mountain and there was a giant walking up there? This is not long ago, like a year ago.
No.
You never saw that?
I don't think so.
I'll show it to you afterwards.
Okay.
And the guy ends up dead, like 3 months later.
After recording it.
And he, it's an iPhone. He zoomed in, and like I said, with AI now, you can make
How the fuck are you supposed to know?
anything you want. But it was a fascinating video.
Yeah.
It was longer than AI really started taking off.
Yeah.
So he ends up dead. So now you see all these videos or pictures, these photos from, the 1800s, and there's giants everywhere, like giants. And a giant is like not a 30-foot person.
Yeah.
But like a 14-foot person.
Right. Yeah.
Like doing fucking housework or putting a shingle on a house. It's just like it's not like in any context. It's just that's how photos were taken way back then.
Yeah.
So that brings us into the thing I've been studying, and that's flat Earth. So before we get into the basis of flat Earth, obviously everyone knows what flat Earth means.
The flat earthers.
We are not a globe, and there is a central white wall. There's. It's almost like if you ever saw the show. What was that HBO show with all the dragons and shit?
Dragons.
Yeah, HBO show. It took place in the old times.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. So there's a part of that show that is the white wall. It's like the edge of.
The edge of the
earth.
earth.
The edge of everything. Right?
Yeah.
And they had the defenders, the Night Walkers or whatever they were called.
Yep.
So a lot of people think they got this theory from the old flat Earth maps, which in the middle, Antarctica, was this big white wall, and a whole civilization lives behind it. Right?
Yes.
So it really depends how you... And giants were involved with this, and this is where they think they get photos of giants, is because on the other side of this wall...
Was Jack and the Beanstalk.
No, not necessarily. See, I'm not on this yet.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I really want to show you some pictures after this.
I'm so excited now. I feel like I gotta see this.
These flat earthers believe in this ice wall. So there's this guy called the Flat Earther on Twitter. And for Christ's sakes, he's got a blue fucking check mark. So he's legit.
I mean, obviously we have to believe him.
He didn't pay for it, right? So anyway. So my first thing is, like, what's the point of the earth being flat? Like, what is the conspiracy you get out of it? What is, if you proved it, what does it mean for any of us? Like, bring me down that rabbit hole, okay? So then he had a video of a guy on another podcast talking to two stooges in a room like we're doing right now. And the guy says, prove to me the flat earth, right?
Right.
So he says, and I'm going to paraphrase him here. He says, okay, we all went to high school. We were all taught our solar system. And how our planet revolves around the earth 365 days a year, right? And our planet itself rotates, right?
Sure.
So if in the winter we're on this side of the sun and we're rotated this way, or we rotate that way, and now we come around all the way 180 whatever days later, and now we're on this side of the sun rotating, how the fuck do we see the same constellations every night? 365 days a year.
But are they always in the same spot?
Boom. So I Googled it.
Because I'm thinking, I'm sitting here like, wait a fucking second.
Right.
Hold on. Hey, listen, I can't always see the Big Dipper.
Right.
I look for it. That's all I know.
Okay, so the Big Dipper is the one, technically, I mean, with no clouds.
Right.
You can see every night because the Big Dipper is, actually, what's the term they use? They wrote it down.
Oh, he took notes.
Circumpolar. So what it means is it is north of the North Pole. So if you look at like our solar system, there's a north, there's a south, there's an east, there's a west. So the sun is here. So you can always see the Big Dipper because no matter why you're going around this way, it's always up north. And that's when I stopped. I said, boom, just debunked this fucking stupid theory, and I let it go for like 3 weeks. And then I just started seeing other shit.
Yep, starts haunting you.
And it does. It's like the moon landing's just a joke. And then
Matt Walsh just did that.
It
was great about the moon landing.
They just posted this video today of so Musk sent some people up or whatever.
Yep.
And they were spacewalking. And I believe, I don't know if this is true, but these people said this is the first time, and like they basically were joking, like, oh, they finally put stars in the fucking spacewalking fucking videos.
Right.
And there were stars in it. Now I think back at non-movie videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never see stars.
No.
You don't see the moon. You don't see the sun.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Do you know, too, you can go down such a rabbit hole, because like I said, allegedly
And I'm going to go.
You're going to go.
Oh.
I told you, find a Reddit thread and just... You'll be up all... listen, it's interesting sometimes. Some of the banter that goes back and forth, it's great. But that's the thing. I said, allegedly, you go on NASA, and they say, outright that these pictures are doctored. These pictures, supposedly, of our Earth. How the fuck are you going to tell me we can't take a picture if everybody's up there?
Right.
You're going on the space... what are these astronauts training for? Are they really going...
They didn't go up their iPhones?
Are they going up there? Are they not going up there? Is somebody in the space station? Are they not in the space station? What the fuck's going on?
Like I've said...
This is big. This is big stuff, There's people who say, well, there is no universe. Because if you think about the universe, it fucks with your head because it's infinite. There's nothing out there.
And it expands. What does it expand into?
Right.
What's on the other side of that expansion?
Right. Whether you think of the Earth as flat or a globe, think about the globe. It's a finite area. Yeah. But outside of that, there's no more area.
If I expand this room, I have to tear down this wall and move into the parking lot.
Yes.
What's beyond the universe that's expanding into?
Right. Oh, God. I'm going to have nightmares.
So, I was always fascinated by the universe.
Yeah.
You know that Star Walk app?
No.
So where you hold your phone up and it'll show you.
Yes. Yep.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, so
but obviously could be generated by, just changing our minds, right? But they used to have a daily picture of like all these not constellations, just these groups of stars, and the colors and the vibrancy of what's in the universe is just fascinating.
Yeah.
I'd watch the 7-part documentary on Netflix of the universe and just sit there with get drunk and just be like, whoa.
Ancient Aliens, that's my favorite.
Yeah, Ancient Aliens and all
favorite
stuff.
show.
But is it all a ruse? And here's my thing again with Flat Earth. What's the ruse? Because I saw something today.
Okay.
And the caption was so poignant. It was a kid, probably a teenager.
Yeah.
Riding one of those, what do you call those things?
The Segway?
A Segway.
Segway, all right.
With virtual reality over his head.
Oh, the Apple thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just riding along. I've seen people riding and driving cars with this thing on.
How the fuck... Wait.
And the caption just said, this is what they want us to be. And I go, wow. You're right.
Wow.
In 30 years, 50 years,
this
is what everyone's going to be.
You're just going to wear the VR.
You're not even going to work.
No.
It's going to be... what movie was that? Hunger Games. There's going to be just classes of people.
Yeah.
And are you going to be in the right class? Or is Civil War coming?
Oh, Civil War's coming.
Like, you ever seen the movie? I know you're younger than me, but it was called Demolition Man.
No.
It was Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
And you know who Dennis Leary is, the comedian? Okay. So, Stallone and Snipes. Stallone was a cop in the 90s. Snipes was a major criminal in the 90s. They both got cryogenically frozen.
Okay.
And something happened, and then Wesley Snipes got out. Something happened with the machine, and they needed, none of these cops in 20, 30, whatever year they went to, knew what to do. They didn't have guns. You couldn't swear. You got a ticket. You literally have to watch the movie because Taco Bell.
Okay, now I have to go watch it.
Taco Bell was obviously probably paid to be the sponsor of the movie.
Yeah.
But was the delicatessen of the society.
Amazing.
And if you swore in the street, this little thing would pop up and give you demerit.
Oh, like the robot thing. Yeah.
So they have to unfreeze, not to draw you this too long. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. They unfreeze Sylvester Stallone, and he's got to go after Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
And they remember each other from the past. And Stallone's trying to bang this other guy who who fucking was it? The girl from Speed. He's trying to bang her, but sex isn't like sex anymore. It's like you put on a fucking virtual reality headset. It's so to what now is. You put on a virtual reality headset and you can't touch each other, and it sends these emotions in your body.
I mean, you think about a huge subject that should be talked about way fucking more. Pornography.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You give virtual reality and you give,
Yeah.
I mean, men are suffering. People are suffering from those addictions. And the thing is, you give a virtual reality helmet, not the...
I mean...
What do you need? That's
You don't
it.
need nothing.
You're good.
You won't leave the couch.
You won't leave the couch.
And that's where they want you.
Yep.
On your couch.
On the couch.
Just getting a check from the government every month.
Yep.
So Dennis Leary's character was the underground dude. The fucking rebellion.
Yes. Yeah.
And, like, they're stuck eating rat burgers and all this shit, and they fucking finally rise up and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Watch the movie, because I watch it about once every 5 years.
Yeah.
Because you'll miss something. Well, you won't miss something, but you'll realize, wow,
holy shit.
life imitating art, like, every time.
Yep.
As we evolve as a, you know, in the future with all the crap we have.
I don't know if we're evolving, but
Well, I mean, like, scientifically and
whatever you want to call it.
whatever you want to call it, I guess, yeah. But it's, you gotta watch it. It's on all, you just fucking download it.
I got the
And
jail,
it's a good movie, too. It's a good action movie.
I got the jailbroken, Fire Stick, all the movies thing.
See,
I
that's
got
what
that.
They want you to have. Now they're listening in.
They listen anyway.
Oh, you got it. I had this conversation with the two 14-year-olds on the way home in Boston.
Oh, like you're in the next room, you leave your phone in here, you walk out of the room, you talk about, I don't know, the Celtics or something, and you come back and that's the first thing that pops up on your phone. You're like
Instagram.
What's happening? You're like, oh my God.
This theory. So Plan B, crypto. Crypto's been booming, right?
Has it?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the crypto
Well,
stuff.
the Bitcoin has been skyrocketing.
Oh, look at that. Good for
all those fuckers that got in and didn't sell, unlike myself, I sold. They're all doing very well, and I'm sitting here plugging away in this podcast. All right, now let's see. After the show, I'll pick up Instagram and see if some crypto thing comes through. I always feel it's Instagram.
Instagram's
an ad
the
will
one.
come up for
the ad will
something.
come up.
Right.
The ad will come up. Yep. I was talking about Pilates the other day. I know nothing about Pilates, and I got a thing about New Haven Pilates. It comes up. They listen. You got to watch out.
Orange Theory. I'll say, hey, yeah, how's that bike? And then Orange Theory pops up. I'm just saying, it's just weird.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
So I told the kids on the ride home, I think I was saying something to Angela. I'm like, yeah, they're always listening. They're in the back. Like, the phone always listens? I'm like, yeah, check your Instagram.
Yeah, the phone
like,
always listens. Say that to a bunch of teenage boys.
They say you could shut it off, but it's like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing.
I don't know. Well,
I'm turning 50 in 13 days. Like, I'm done.
Turning
I'm
50,
past
my
50.
Whoa!
Look at this gray.
Oh my God.
50.
My kiddos who I used to nanny told me I'm pushing 30. I said, oh, no, I'm not.
How old are you?
27.
That's pushing 30.
It's not pushing 30.
That's late
It's 27. I'm not
late
pushing
20s.
30.
When's your birthday?
August 26th.
Oh my God, it's my brother's birthday.
Stop it right now. That's like the fifth person
My brother
who
listens
has
to every show.
So
you guys are birthday twins. That's awesome.
birthday twins.
He's gonna be 55. Double nickels.
Double.
Can't drive 55.
Can't drive 55.
Can't drive 55.
Wow, getting old.
My brother will like this show too. He likes the shit we're talking about.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
I love that. I love meeting people with like minds,
Yeah.
Especially
that's how we
people,
met.
especially people who don't look it. Like, you ever find one of those people?
I look it. You don't look it.
I don't look it.
Well, I mean, like, if I were just to see you in a bar, I wouldn't say you were a liberal.
No,
but I also wouldn't think
let
like
me
you
tell
would
you
write
something.
notes and
Let
talk
me tell
about.
you something.
The first time you were on this show, you were talking. I had something that actually thought you might have said a dirty word on this show.
Did I say a dirty
No,
word?
you didn't.
Oh.
I said no. If she did, I would have edited it out. It was your driving through Dunkin' Donuts story you told.
Oh, where I got hit. Yeah, where I got hit by that girl. Oh my God, I fucking forgot about that.
I didn't.
No, you know what it is though that I'll tell you right now? Here's a theory for you. Conservative women are usually pretty good looking.
True.
Liberal women, not so much.
They look like trans. No, I'm just kidding.
Normally I could walk down the street and I could probably tell you who you voted for.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking clear.
No, it's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. Once in a blue moon, you get somebody who's different, and I love that when I get that. And I'm like, ooh, oh, okay. I'm like, this is great.
When I first started the show, like, I always obviously I knew in the first year who I was having on. When I started getting people on that I didn't know, or they were like, almost a celebrity, like a Dan Patrick or Will Middlebrooks, or I know Rob O'Neill. I know what side he's on.
Yeah.
But we'd always do a pre-show talk, and I'd be like,
you got to talk about that.
Where do we stand? Just want to know. And I don't, outside of having you on, I don't really get too heavy into politics anymore.
Right.
I got a sponsor in Viva. They could probably care less, but, I got to, weigh my stuff.
Gotta let it out.
But it's never going to sway me into one leaning left.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Well, somebody asked me this
the party of non-common sense.
One of my buddies said this the other day. He said, because I'm very unfortunately back out into the dating world. What a scary place it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, you're only 27, girl.
It's all right. I trust God.
I'll put your stats on our.
I trust God. He'll find my husband one day.
Yeah.
Any Christian men out there, you know what I'm saying?
Are you a church goer?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I am big.
But they always say you can be a nice girl in church.
Yeah. But everybody in church is like married or engaged. It's hard.
Oh, you got to go to the. There's a whole different church for single people.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Is single people church?
No, Tinder.com. Or what's the new one now? Hinge.
Hinge and Bumble, I think, are the popular
I had a
ones.
Hinge date in the other night.
Did
and
you?
I hate to cut you off, but I'll forget to tell this quick story.
Oh, no, please tell.
But I could tell right away. I was busy. It was a Wednesday night, and they had like 4 drinks each, feeling kind of good. Now they're making out.
Oh.
But now the place clears out. So he says to me something about, hey, can I ask you a question? I'm like, sure. He goes, what do you think of the two of us? Well, I don't know what he really said. I said, well, you guys, I say Tinder. I go, you guys are on a Tinder date. You've definitely never met. He goes, how the fuck do you know that? I go, well, 1, I'm a bartender.
I see the shit all the time.
And 2, you showed up 20 minutes before and had 2 beers before she got here.
You were nervous?
When she got here, you shook hands.
Yep.
This is like the most obvious shit.
Yeah.
And they were both cool people, like really cool people, right?
Yeah.
So we're shooting the shit, and he works for a radio station and wants
cool.
to help me out. And she goes, I want to come on the show. So I go, well, what do you want to talk about? And she goes, well, I've been on a lot of Hinge dates. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I look like bad ones.
She probably got some stories.
She goes, oh, I got some stories. I said, oh, okay. She goes, I've been on 103. I literally just went like this, and I looked at the guy. I'm like, I look back at her. I'm like,
you said that in front of the fucking guy.
Right, in front of the fucking guy. And I go, are you going to write a book? She goes, I should write a book. And then I turn to the guy. I go,
is she getting a second date?
No. I go, you're chapter 104, FYI.
Holy.
But these people are cool as shit. I actually think they hit it off. Who knows?
I mean, God bless, but fuck.
I don't even know if I've been on that many. I'm 50 almost.
I sure as hell.
I've never been on that many dates in my life.
Listen, I wasted my motherfucking life. with way too many long-term
relationships. Or is that 103 free dinners? And I say, somebody said that to me. I said,
let me tell you something, though.
These fuckers don't pay all the time.
They don't fucking pay. Let me tell you something right now, okay? For anybody listening, I'm tired of being the fucking man and financially supporting all these losers, all right? So don't let these men tell you, oh, I took her out. You didn't take me on no fucking dates.
You know how many times they split tabs? I get
all
two
the
credit
fucking
cards?
time. I had a guy I went on a date a couple months ago, and the first date I'm always going to offer is who I am. Right? I do everything myself. I don't need nobody to help me out.
And as a guy, I appreciate that.
Of course.
I'm still not going to let you.
Right.
Right.
Because you fucking shouldn't.
Right.
And on the first date, bro.
Right.
The first, I go, oh, you want to split it? He goes, yeah. I'm sitting there like, okay, sure, no problem. Then he's like, I work so hard. I make all this money. I'm like, well, clearly you don't. Right. Because you just let me fucking split the check on our first date. He wants to buy
sneakers. It's probably a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
They put all their money in sneakers.
Stay away from gym guys, girls. Stay away from these fucking gym guys.
Well, that's a good segue into one of my last topics I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The cost of food.
Ew.
So, read an article about McDonald's. Now, I don't eat McDonald's.
I haven't eaten it in years.
Right. But in 2018, their Big Mac was $4.89. Now it's
for like a meal. We're talking fries and a drink.
No.
Just $4 for the sandwich.
$4.89 just for the sandwich.
Wow.
Now in 2024, it's gone up $1 since that, just in 6 years. That's 20% and around about 20% inflation on a fucking burger. That's no fries. So there's, outside of the fast food world I
think it costs like $14 now if you get like a meal.
Now highway McDonald's are different than regular McDonald's, but we were driving up to Boston. I had to stop and go to the bathroom. So the boys wanted McDonald's. So I gave him a 20. 20.
Not enough.
No, it was enough, but he comes back with $2.07, and he has a Shamrock shake in his hand. I said, don't tell me that shake was $18. He goes, no, I got 2 cheeseburgers and a small fry. I go, wait, Don't tell me 2 cheeseburgers in a small, because I know 2 cheeseburgers for
what
me
happened to
are 2
do
bites.
they have a dollar menu anymore?
They don't have that
no
anymore.
dollar menu.
It's like a $3 menu now.
The fuck?
So let's relate that to the restaurant world now.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's
You know, I treated my friends. We go out to the bar in Fairfield. You know what
Yeah.
it cost me for
Oh.
4 espresso martinis?
Forget it.
$90.
Yep.
$90.
Yes, that's without tip.
Are
Probably.
you out of your fucking head?
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking head?
Yeah.
$90.
And I read a fantastic article today that remember when they were going to raise the minimum wage in the restaurants,
Yeah.
and everyone bitched, well, when they raise the minimum wage, all the prices are going to skyrocket. And that's a common sense thought.
Sure.
Right? They have to cover
Sure.
because it's not much margin in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Well, a funny thing happened on the way to the restaurant. They didn't yet raise the minimum wage, but yet all the fucking prices went up.
Are way up.
So just wait until they do raise it.
Yeah.
It's all going to go up even more. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So John Taffer wrote an article, from Bar Rescue.
Yes. Yes.
So as he's writing, as I'm reading his article, like there's this little blob, and like John Taffer's Tavern closes in Massachusetts. I'm like, okay, I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, be ready for the $30 burger because once the minimum wage goes up to $20.
Fucking Chowder Pot went out of business.
Oh, in Brantford?
Yeah. That place,
Did
listen,
they?
I've never been there in my life, but that place is like an antique. Like it was just
Yeah.
always going to be there.
I haven't been there in probably 30 years.
You know, well,
But, yeah.
like old people love the karaoke. They get hopping up there. You know what I mean? I've seen
Why,
lines.
were you hoping at age 27 by the time you turned my age and you
I
probably
was gonna-
married
that I
3
was gonna
kids
go,
and now single again and
and
you're
I
going
want to
right
go to the Chowder Pot.
You're going to
I
the
want
pot?
to go to the Chowder
You know, it says
Pot.
Chowder Pot 3?
Yes, I was going to the pot, sing some karaoke, and find me a new man. All right.
You're already one man ahead of the man you want to be with.
Yep.
That's fucked
One
up.
man ahead.
But that's what you should always think. One step ahead, right?
One step ahead. Never let anybody know your next move.
So yeah, his restaurant. Taffer's
closed.
Tavern. He couldn't even rescue his own restaurant. That's how bad
That's
this economy
fucked up. That's fucked up for
How
his
fucked up is that?
reputation. You gonna rescue my bar, bitch? Yours closed.
is. It's just closed.
Bitch, yours closed.
The article wrote
Fuck you,
for
rescue me.
personal reasons. I'm like, what?
Personal.
So here's where Taffer fucked up, I think, because I've been in this business my whole life.
Yeah.
So he immediately made it a franchisee place.
Right.
So you had to pay Taffer for the name. You had to follow us. It's like a Subway restaurant. You have to follow
Yeah,
all their
yeah.
guidelines. You have to give all their discounts and all their specials. But yeah, you have to pay rent in a. It wasn't in Boston, but it was in one of the uppity towns outside of Boston.
Yeah.
Watertown or something. And you have to go by whatever. And then he ain't coming in fucking once a month. You're just going off a name.
Right. Right.
And it's all about location. And now you're on your own trying to figure out, okay, how do I promote this place? But I can't sell a Tavern burger for less than $18 because that's a rule that they have. And if he
Right.
finds that rule, he's going to fine you.
Right.
So you got to just go by, like when Subway does $5 footlongs, you're sitting there as an owner like, motherfucker, I got to
Yeah.
sell these things for $5.
Yeah. $5.
I got rent to pay, man.
That's it.
What the fuck, Subway?
Yeah.
And so John Taffer, and I love Taffer. I love watching his shows.
Yeah. No, he's cool.
Sometimes a little over the top, and I'm skeptical of how real they are, but everything I've read, they're pretty real. But he couldn't even save his own bar. His own bar.
I know. I feel like he's done. Like you're.
He's got a new season out.
Does he really?
Yeah.
It must have been
Just
taped.
started.
It was probably taped before that, though.
Yeah, I guess.
It had to be. You're gonna lose some fucking credibility. You're gonna lose some credibility.
But he can easily say, well, I'm just the franchiser of it. I can't tell you if the place was run bad. Well, if the
touche.
numbers are up, if you know the numbers are down, like, aren't you gonna go and? Wouldn't that be a great episode? I'm rescuing my own place.
I'm rescuing my own bar.
That would be pretty cool. That would be like, that shows humility. It shows the world how hard this
We shouldn't have
business is to
sent that
run.
out loud. We should have sent it in or something. These ideas, they come to you.
Taffer, buddy.
Taffer.
Think of the dog. I'll bring him on.
All right. We'll talk about bars. We'll drink with him.
That's it. I don't got anything else. What do you got? I'll let you finish the show out.
Let me finish the show. All right. Well, yeah, we'll talk about Jesus a little bit. You want to talk about Jesus?
Jesus?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Want to talk about Jesus?
Sure, go ahead.
So here's a fun little thing. Last year, I became what you call a born-again Christian.
You did?
Scary.
That is scary.
It is scary. There's a big hype about it, but it's not what you think it is. Born-again Christian just means later in life we accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior.
You got baptized and all that?
I've already been baptized.
Or do you get baptized again?
You can if you choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I belong to Vertical Church in West Haven. Best church in the world.
Vertical Church.
Vertical Church.
Why do I feel like, where is it? I feel like I just
It's right on that hill, on Malloy Road.
Yep.
Right on the hill.
Yep.
Remember the old Sam's Club?
Yep.
It's right up there.
Yep.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I've met the most amazing people in the world.
And Amazon's right there.
Yeah. Amazon's there.
Your order should be there like in seconds.
Yeah, seconds. But yeah, so I found God. I refound God. I grew up as a Catholic.
Do you feel like you were losing him at one point?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a lot of death and a lot of hardship in my life, and
doesn't the Bible teach you that?
Yeah, I mean it does, but most people.
I'm sorry, I have had a religious.
That's okay. No, it's totally fine. So
Yeah.
so the Bible talks about that a lot, and really as Christians we follow the Bible to the word.
Right.
Right. And that's the thing is a lot of people are like, why me, and like, it's cliche to say that you're never handed anything that you can't handle. God gives us our biggest fight so that we can move on into
Right.
something bigger and greater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I found God. I highly suggest it. It's a beautiful thing. I'm in ministry school now. So I'm working on that, working on some ministry work. And yeah, it's a beautiful life. I feel free. I feel happy. And
That's awesome.
freaking great. I'm still the same crazy old me.
No, I can see that.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh my God.
Like now, you don't know me that well. I've actually had a friend of mine he's like the head of his church.
Yeah.
And we were drunk coming back from a golf tournament one day, and I'm always the conspiracy theorist or the person that wants to
dig a little bit.
dig a little bit into his religious beliefs.
Sure.
I'm not doing that with you here, but I am not that religious. I've told my story. His name is Dave Gibbs. It was a great conversation we had. It was an hour long about religion and God and why my biggest argument, why do kids get cancer and how do you explain that? And there's a lot of stuff in this world like, well, with God exists. Anyway, again, not get into it.
Yep.
But what I find most disturbing is politics and religion. And this goes to the left. Mm-hmm. They almost are making fun of Christian belief at this point.
Oh yeah, we're hated. We're hated.
Despised. The Hollywood throws Satan in our faces on the daily. Yep. Just watch an award show.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Watch Sam Smith, for Christ's sakes.
Oh God, don't
Watch
even get me started. It makes me fucking nauseous.
It's fucking awful. And like I said, I'm in the middle. Like I don't have many beliefs, but I'm not going to sit here and be, oh my God, like whatever. I don't know. Like it's hard to explain. I actually wasn't prepared for this conversation at the moment.
Yeah.
You brought up Jesus. I'm like, fuck, man.
I'm an evangelist. That's what I am. That's why Pastor calls me. I bring everybody to church. I bring them all in.
I admire it. My friend Dave, I admire. He met his wife in church.
Yeah. Great place to meet a
he's still married.
guy.
They have a great house. They have kids, and everyone's grown up now. And
love it.
And he most importantly, he doesn't preach to me.
Right.
To a friend. Like,
it's important.
He's not. I think it's very important.
Yes.
Is not to be like, oh, you really.
But that's not our job.
You want to say, hey, come down to the church one day. You've had a hard time.
Come check it out.
Your wife just died, or my father just passed away 2 months ago. Like, and just come and hang out, meet the people.
Yeah.
You don't even have to read the verses. You don't have to do anything.
Nope.
And that I can appreciate and handle. Yeah. I just don't need you coming at me like.
No, I think evangelism.
I've been watching the Texas shit, the David Koresh shit.
Oh, you finally watched that? My friend just texted me yesterday, like, "Oh, I'm watching this documentary." I'm like, I've been there, done that.
Oh no, I lived it. I mean, I didn't live it, but I mean, I watched it every night on the news. I'm that old. I'm turning 50 in 2 weeks. But I watched both. I watched the show.
Yep.
And then we just watched the documentary. Me and my girlfriend watched the documentary the other night. I thought the documentary was much better.
That'll freak you out. That will freak you out.
That fucking sniper. I love that dude.
Dude.
He had a chance to end it, and he was worried about going to prison, which I get.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, would he really have, though?
Probably not.
They would have covered that up.
Nah, they would have covered him up. They would have had his back.
They would have had his back.
Yeah.
Fucker, you could have taken him out.
Could have taken him out. Could have taken him the fuck out.
But then I was a little skeptical. Are you sure it was him?
Right. That's the problem,
too. I mean, it's just a shadow in a window.
People were ready to jump in front of that gun for him.
Right.
A lot of people
Right.
die, kids die.
Let's see what they're going to do if you go in the window.
That fucked me up for a little while. After watching that at the end, I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, wow.
Did you know the story before you watched it?
No.
Oh,
nope.
man.
Didn't know the story. I watched it totally blind. I've seen like every crime
Watch the documentary
out there.
Watch the show they did.
Yeah.
And it details the ending more of a cinematic.
Oh, they like reenacted it.
There was like all the women were huddled in like the pantry.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then there was a bus.
Right.
And they tried to get out through the bus. Underneath the bus, they were trying to dig their way out, and one of the FBI agents came over and saw her hand and tried to pull her out, but the fire got so much they all just like burned to death under that bus.
So
fucking crazy. Now, I don't know if that was again part of the non-documentary, but they said they did find bodies there and all that.
Yeah, they found tons of bodies. Now, I actually said this the other day because I went on a date. And I said,
we got any mentions?
I said no. And I said Hinge.
Oh, all right.
It's my first time on a dating app. I've never done the dating app. It's fucking horrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And just know I screenshot your funny ass pictures and send them to my sister.
Of course.
Just to let you know. Like the funny people who like me. It's like
not dick pics though.
No dick pics, thankfully.
Are you getting it?
No.
Oh, well, you only been on one. You'll get them.
Yeah, no, I'm good on the dick pics.
I always say if you're gonna send your dick, don't send yours. Just
send
Google
somebody else's. Just Google
someone
it.
and send that.
Just Google a dick. But it's funny because I said to him, are you a murderer or whatever? And I said, listen, I've seen every crime documentary. So one, I'm going to be able to tell if you're a murderer and I'm going to escape. And two, if I need to murder you, I will get away with it.
Right. That's it.
So I'm set.
Watch enough crime docs, you're good.
I'm set. I'm ready to go. I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should attach this podcast to your profile on Hinge.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Like if you really want to know me,
listen to this.
Give this a listen.
Right. And
You'll save us both a lot of time.
Save us both a lot of fucking time.
If you don't believe in any of these fucking...
And you don't like it?
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Next. Thank you.
And if you fucking cross this girl and she sends me a pic and I see you in Stonebridge, my friend, not a good idea.
They put their political status on there too. And my buddy said, why would
Have you found one that's a he, him yet?
People put their pronouns. People admit that they're liberal in there. People admit it.
Because they're looking for another... Being liberal is like the easy way out.
It's so scary. My buddy's like, why would you put your political beliefs? That shouldn't matter. Nowadays, that shouldn't matter. I'm going to date a liberal man who calls himself he, him. They, he.
I mean, I will say this. It shouldn't matter. It's like, I'm not going to lose a lifelong friend because...
No, I have friends
because,
who
you know
are
what, for 30 years of my life, I know people that, they vote. I actually voted for Clinton when I was 18. Like, whatever. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But over the years, we never talked about it. I mean, obviously, the whole world came to a head in 2016, but it was trending that way regardless.
Right.
And now when Trump lost in 2020, now it's just it is kind of crazy.
Well, I think it's prominent, especially for a person like myself. I have certain morals, certain values, a certain way of life that I want to live. I can't live that with somebody who's liberal.
Right.
You're going to talk about, turning my kid into a unicorn or a cat. I'm not fucking dealing with that.
Being the same in this day and age of politically aligned is so much better than, well, we both like walks on the beaches. And we both love the New York Yankees.
Oh, God, it's so terrible.
Great. That's awesome, but, do you want to argue over an election? Do you want to argue over basic concepts of life and liberty? And
yeah, no. No.
Why?
And, hello, is that man going to fucking protect me when a robber comes through the door? A they? Come on.
We'll finish on this. It was, what's his name? Bill Maher.
I love Bill Maher.
Okay, so Bill Maher is a liberal.
Yeah,
right.
But he's pretty...
But I've watched him from...
No,
I've watched him from his days of... He used to do this politically incorrect show on ABC. You might not even have been born yet. No, you were probably 2. And that's how he got the show into HBO.
Right.
He's been on that for a while. And one of his panelists that he had on, this is years ago, during Trump's era, but, 7 years ago. And he asked, well, what would happen if we had a civil war? And Bill Maher, still being a liberal, being a Democrat, said, well, we would get demolished because all of the Republicans would show up with all of their arsenal, and we'd think that throwing a dildo at them would fucking win that war. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like that. And I'm like, that's where I necessarily don't need a gun, but I know where to go. And
you know where to go.
I know where to go.
You can come over my house.
Yeah, well, that would be short term.
You, your girlfriend, and her son, you guys are safe.
All right, we'll come there first. We'll gun up.
We'll get you guys.
I don't have far to go. It's like an hour.
Yeah.
But I'll get there. I'm a really good fast car driver.
I'm quicker. I'm a 10-minute. I'm 5 minutes. You're good.
No, I'll start with you guys.
Start with us.
I'll get some gear. You probably have a whole bunker of fucking Twinkies and shit.
Yep. We'll send you guys off with some supplies. You'll be fine.
Oh, man. All right, Samantha. So much fun having you on the show.
So fun.
Oh, God. And there's probably a million shit we can keep rambling on. But
I know. We don't shut up.
We'll do that around, we'll just do a show around Election Day.
See y'all near Election
Unless
Day.
something really fucking, like that Black Swan event happens.
Yeah.
We'll do it immediately. All right. Immediate show.
Immediately.
All right. Sounds like a deal?
Sounds like a deal.
All right. Thanks so much, Sam. Good luck in your online dating life for the next... Just don't be 103.
We're at 1 and I'm done.
I'll look out for you this summer. I'll see if there's any.
Not at Stony Bridge. They're too young for me.
Sundays. Sundays are the day you got to come down.
Oh yes, Sundays. I'll find a sugar
daddy.
daddy.
No, don't come down on a Saturday night.
No, Sundays we'll find.
No, Sundays is 25 to 45. It's a good crew.
All right. We'll try Stony Bridge on a Sunday.
Stony Bridge.
Meet me there. See y'all there.
All right. Thanks so much, hon. Bye-bye.